those fair to a certain standard. This is old.
All right, guys, so let's see if we can attempt to get this done today without any interruptions. Aha! All righty. If you can pick your nose, do it quietly. Okay. Good deal. Okay, I'm going to talk to you today about the power of water. Okay. And first of all, I want to tell you about our manufacturer. You know, we work with a real huge company called Rex Air. They've been in business since 1936. We're up in Troy, Michigan. We're in 97 countries around the world. Our management team is committed to quality-made products, a high level of customer service, and our products are only sold or demonstrated through independent contractors like myself, right? And did I mention that it's all American made?
You just did.
Did. I just wanted to remind you, all American made, okay? Now, I'm here basically for 4 reasons tonight. First of all, to thank you for your time and present you with a gift. Remember when I spoke to you on the phone, I told you guys I was going to bring you a gift? Well, here it is. This one happens to be a 3-day, 2-night mini vacation. Now, this is really nice. I've taken several of these myself, okay? What's nice about it, you've got about 6 different resort areas that you can select from in the United States. We're going to take care of your accommodations. You just need to get there, and we just don't know how much you're going to eat, so you've got to feed yourself. Is that fair enough? Okay. Now, when you want to take the trip, just follow the instructions, okay, and make the reservations. Now, this is a $200 value. Don't just slide this in the drawer and forget about it, okay? If you cannot give it to somebody else like yourself, gainfully employed someone just like yourself, so that we can pass it on to somebody else. Okay? Now, I'm going to give this to you on one condition. That you send me a postcard, let me know how you liked it. Is that fair enough?
Sure.
All right,
Yes.
there we go. Now, I'm going to put this over here until I'm through. But also, while I'm working here tonight, if you can just jot down just the first names of people that you would like to send on vacation. Right? I don't want their last name, I just want their first name. I don't want any phone numbers. Just jot down their name as we go through this. And the reason I'm excited about this is, Bill, because at the bottom of the page there it says, if you win, I win. If you give me 10 names on that list, you're going to be in the drawing for a $500 shopping spree. So while I'm working on, just jot down the names.
Okay.
Okay, now, the second reason I'm here is to get your honest opinion of the amazing Rainbow Hydro Cleaning System. I'm here to interest you in either getting one from us today. If not today, it's sometime in the future. We just hope one day we get your money. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, that's
right. Thirdly, to invite you to open house at our office. We're looking for people either full or part-time to do what I'm doing. Now, you may know somebody out there in the workplace or a relative or a neighbor that would like to generate some extra income in their spare time. If you can think of such a person, don't even forget. I'll tell you about that later on. In fact, I have a little brochure here that I'm going to read to you when I'm through. I'm going to put this with my keys so I don't forget, and we'll go through that a little bit later on. But while I'm on the subject, what would you guys do with an extra $1,000 a month coming into the household?
Extra 1,000?
Yeah?
Double up on my mortgage.
Yeah, that's a very sensible thing to do. Get that thing paid off real quick.
That's right.
Okay. Well, like I said, don't even forget, I'll tell you about that a little bit later on. The fourth reason here is to ask for your assistance in advertising our rainbow. If you like what you see today, we want you to tell the world. If you don't like what you see, would you tell me?
Sure.
That's good enough. All right. Now, our products out, the demonstration that we're doing right now, we've been doing this since 1936. We only do in-home demonstrations, right? So you can see the product, feel it, touch it, smell it right here in your own home. Doesn't that make sense?
Yes.
Right? Have you ever, do you sometimes surf the channels when the TV commercials come on?
Yes.
Do you sometimes leave the room and go to the restroom when the commercials come on?
Absolutely.
So if we'd spent millions of dollars to try and advertise our product to a consumer like yourself, we would have missed you because you left the room. So rather than us waste our money on TV and other type of advertising, we would rather pay you to go on vacation to see, right, so that we can give you a presentation in your home because we feel it's more beneficial. And we also have some other promotional gifts I'm going to talk to you about a little bit later on as well if you help us do some advertising. Okay? Now, fact, we need 3 things to live. Good clean food, pure drinking water, clean fresh air. Would you agree with me that pure air is just as important as pure food or water?
Absolutely.
Definitely. Are you concerned about what we eat?
Yeah.
Do you drink bottled water by the way?
Yes, I do.
So you consider what we put in.
Yeah.
But very few of us think about what we're doing to the air. Let me go on a little bit. What do we do? Do you sometimes suffer from any kind of breathing disorders like allergies, this, that, and everything else?
From time to time.
From time to time,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody outside of your family that has a breathing disorder?
Well, my wife has really bad allergies.
How bad are they, man?
They're bad.
Pretty bad?
Several medications for them.
Oh, really? And anybody outside the family or friends or neighbors that have allergies?
I have a couple of friends at work that complain
Really?
and sniffle a bit.
Are their names down yet?
Oh, okay, I'll put
Uh-huh.
it down there.
And do you know any coughers?
Yes.
Yeah.
No? You know, you're in church just trying to pay attention, there's always somebody coughing. Could you
Yeah.
put their name down too, please?
Yes.
Okay. Now, there's nothing we can do about the pollution outside, but there may be something we can do about the pollution indoors. When last do you ever hear anybody say that we go inside for fresh air?
Never.
We don't, okay? And we constantly breathe this in all the time. Now, what I have here is a photo floodlight. It's exactly what a photographer would use for taking pictures. Now, I'm just going to switch off this light for a moment because I want to show you something. Okay? And I'm not showing you anything new, but you tell me what you see between my hand and this light. What do you see floating up here in the air, Amy?
Little particles of,
Particles of dust. Does that look pretty inviting or not so inviting?
not so much.
Not so much, right? You know, in the mornings you wake up, the sun's shining. What do you see dancing up and down that sunbeam?
That right there.
Dust, exactly. You don't say hallelujah, there's dust, let me breathe it in. You actually step away from it. But to you and to me, this is dust. But to a scientist or a doctor, this is actually pollution. You see, you cannot tell right now whether it's you up there, me, your dog, your cat, your next door neighbor. Now, if we call that dust in the air, what do you think we call it when it's down here on the carpet?
It's dirt.
Dirt. And that's literally the filth of civilization that we drag in from outside our shoes. You know, when people take their dogs for a walk, do they take them for exercise or other things?
Other things.
Other-
I'm not being rude, but sometimes we step in these things.
Right.
Ever been to the store and you step on a piece of chewing gum?
Yes.
Can you imagine all the other things we step on in the course of the day? You know, we live in Texas, people chew tobacco, they spit on the sidewalk. We step in it, our feet become sticky, and we drag this into our homes on the bottom of our shoes. Once again, healthy or unhealthy?
Unhealthy.
Definitely unhealthy. Okay? Now, let's get this going again. What else do we have? You know, pets bring in all kinds of nasty little critters from outside. Okay? Pollutants are blown in from outside. Insects come in as well. And when a friend comes to visit and they got a cold, what do they generally leave you with?
A cold.
A cold. Now, how did the cold get from me to you?
Airborne.
It's airborne, and they hitchhike on these little dust particles. You sneeze, and next thing you've got it. Okay? Once again, would you say these are healthy, unhealthy situations?
Unhealthy.
Not too good. Okay? We have all kinds of dander and stuff like that all over the house. You name it, it's out there. Oh my word! What can you tell me about the house dust mite, Jeremy?
Like, really, what can I tell
They're everywhere, right?
you? Everywhere.
Absolutely. You know, sometimes you're sitting watching television and you feel something on your arm, so you give it one of these. And you scratch. And you keep watching the television and it moves. And you look down and see it, but you can't see them. That's why we call them no-see-ums, right? They're so small you cannot see them, right? And tell me, when last did you vacuum your mattress, Amy?
Haven't.
Never. They say never sleep on a second-hand bed, because you never know what the other person could have had. They could have had athlete's feet. And if you sleep with the wrong way around, you get athlete's head. And you wouldn't want that, right?
Absolutely
He says, I never want to be an athlete, right? But there it is. Now, the first thing you do this evening, when I leave out of here, you need to get that bed, strip off the sheets and vacuum it and get rid of these little critters. Have you seen all these commercials lately on mattresses, right? That they double their weight in 7 years, right? It's incredible. So you're sleeping on somebody without even realizing.
Oh, dear.
All right. Now, have you ever driven down a dusty road on a hot summer's day? What do you see behind your car?
Dust.
Dust. Go down that same road at 50 or 60 miles an hour just after it's rained and there's no dust. You know why? Because wet dirt don't fly. Now that's not very good English, but wet dust cannot fly. If there was a mud puddle in front of us, could we stamp any dust out of it?
No.
So our company took this incredible principle of trapping dust in water and they came up with an amazing product. You see, when you want to wash something really clean, what do you use? You use water. To wash your clothes yourself, etc., you use water. So we came up with a product, and here it is. It's called the Rainbow. It uses aerodynamics and hydrodynamics in motion, and here she is. Looks like Darth Vader's helmet, doesn't it? And it comes in two parts, the top and the bottom. Now, you know how your car runs on gasoline? Well, the Rainbow here runs on water. So I'm just going to put some water straight in there like this, right? There we go. Good old ice and water. I better stop there, right? It makes me want to go and tinker. Alrighty, now, this here is what we call the heart and lungs of the machine. When I switch this on in a moment, this air-water separator spins at 25,000 revolutions per minute. But what it's going to do here, it's going to pull the dust and all the impurities from this room into the water at 55 miles an hour. You remember I told you earlier on that wet dirt don't fly?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to trap the dust and the impurities in the water and let out clean, fresh, water-washed air like Mother Nature when it rains. Now, let's take a look at this water. If that water was in a different container, I'm sure you wouldn't mind drinking it, am I right?
No, it came out of the spigot.
Exactly. If it was a nice glass, it would even be better, right?
Yeah.
I have trouble getting my lips around that. Hold it, right? Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch on, and here I go. Now, the air is coming in at 55 miles an hour. Put your hand on there, Bill, and feel the power. Is that amazing? There we go. Feel that, Amy? Right? It's coming at 55 miles an hour. Would you agree with me that anything going in there is going to get wet?
Yeah.
Definitely. It's trapping it in the water, okay? And out of here comes clean, fresh air. Now, if this smells strange, don't be alarmed, it's clean, fresh air.
Okay.
Like Mother Nature when it rains outside. Doesn't that smell good? Exactly. Now, if that was smoke coming out of here, how long would it take to fill this room up with smoke?
Not long.
Just a couple of minutes. Well, that's how long it takes to clean this room and remove the impurities from within. And tell me, when was the last time you had a thunderstorm in the home with thunder, lightning, and everything else? I ain't kidding. I saw Walker falling asleep there, so I thought I'd just liven it up a little bit. But let me ask you this question. Would you want to drink that water now?
Oh, heavens, no. God, look at that stuff in there.
But you know something?
Yeah.
As strange as this may seem, you'd be better off to drink that water right now than to breathe the contents. Right? You see, if you drank the water, your body acids would digest this. But if you breathe it in little bit by little bit, it's going to build up in our bronchial tubes, and down the road gives us the breathing problem. So where would you rather have all the dust, dirt, and filth? In the air we can breathe it, or in the water we can get it out of your home and out of your life forever?
In the water.
Exactly. And if you wouldn't drink that water, does it make sense to breathe this kind of air?
No.
Not at all. Now, just for the record, guys, always try and put your blue towel underneath there, because it shows the dust a lot better. Because you're going light on light,
Yeah.
and it doesn't show so good. So put on a dark background.
Okay.
I neglected to get that when I started off. But I showed you just with that little application there how we remove the dust, the dirt, and the pollen from the air. But I'm going to add something to the rainbow now. And I want you guys to tell me where you were the last time you smelled something like this. Just a capful of that in there, right? There we go. What does that remind you of? Well, where were you the last time you smelled something like that?
Dentist office.
Hospital, doctor's office, dentist, exactly. Smell real clean, right? The word I'm after is hygienic,
Yep.
right? Very hygienic, okay? And what it is, it's a substance called triethylene glycol, which they use in hospitals for killing germs and bacteria. You can go to hospital at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and since you step through the front door, you know you're in a hospital because they're constantly killing the germs and bacteria. But you know what it's like when you're cooking something like fish or onions? You know how that smell goes all the way through the house? No big deal. A capful of that in the water, it'll completely neutralize the air. You know, if I go on a presentation and people are smoking, I cannot wait to get to this point. And I'll put 2 capfuls in there and I'll completely knock out the cigarette smoke because I've never smoked. But not everybody wants their home to smell like a hospital, am I right?
Right.
So tell me your favorite fragrance is violet.
Violet.
Yeah, alrighty, I just got that handy for you. Okay? Thought I did. Alright. That's all over, I think. There we go. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's good.
And that's real good. Violet. The next one I'm going to put in here is apple blossom. Okay? Want to smell the apple? Nice.
Oh, yeah.
And you cannot smell the hospital smell anymore. All the violets, all you can smell at the moment is the apples. And how that works is we don't know. All we know is the last one in is the next one out. In fact, the last one I'm going to put in here is Siberian pine. This one just happens to have a label on it. a warning label. It says danger. Before use, make sure all doors and windows are closed, otherwise the birds and bees will nestle in your furniture. Now when you mix pineapple together, what do you get, Bill?
You get pineapple.
Fine. All right, laugh it in, laugh it out. Smile is contagious. Okay?
Oh, wow, yeah.
There we go.
Cool.
And then they just like Christmas.
Yes.
Exactly. Now when I was a kid, if I ever had cold or flu, my mother would put me to bed with a vaporizer. Now you know how those deals work, you put water in there and they bubble away all night. You wake up in the morning, the wallpaper's peeled off the walls. You step outside and get a worse cold than what you had. You play tic-tac-toe on the windows. Right? Well, look at this. Let's say you're not feeling good. You're all congested. You've got a bad cold. We recommend you put this in your bedroom for 10 minutes before you go to sleep to remove the dust, the dirt and the pollen from the air, which aggravates your cold and your sinuses, and you run over sunny days. That'll open you up and right.
That's nice.
That always reminds me of something exotic like a spa or something, you know?
Yeah.
Having a nice massage. So there we go, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now we recommend that you just put that next to your bed and let it run all night long while you're sleeping.
You won't get much sleep that
Big
way.
body?
You won't get much sleep with that.
Oh, it's a little bit noisy, is it? I see, okay. Well, remember I told you the company's been going since 1936? Well, this is our 7th model that came out, and it's got 2 speeds, and it's running right now. Isn't that terrific? And as you can see down there, we've even got a little night light for you in case you're scared of the dark, Bill. All right? Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
So what do you think of my rainbow so far?
I think it's fantastic.
Isn't that different?
Yeah.
Very much so. Now,
Yeah.
we sold a lot of machines like this back in 1936, but we had a distinct problem. The problem we had was we'd run it and we still found we had some dust over here in the air. We got a lot of it, but not all of it. Where does this dust keep coming from all the time, Walker?
Your clothes?
Your clothes, exactly. So it comes off our clothes. Where else, Jeremy?
Floor?
The floor, right? Our bodies, exactly. Every 13 or 14 we lose that layer of
Skin.
skin. So here it goes. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Jeez.
And our furnishings, it's everywhere. Now how do we take care of this dust situation that we have around the house? You know, we use various things. We use dust cloths, mops, brooms, feather dusters, you name it, you can use them, right? And I've misplaced my page here. Okay? Can you read that sentence to me there, please, Bill?
Yeah, when I get in focus.
Uh-huh.
You're not eliminating dust, you're simply moving a lot of it around.
Uh-huh. Okay. So, do you have a vacuum cleaner?
Absolutely.
Could have fooled me.
Oh.
Can I see your vacuum cleaner?
Yes,
All
right
right.
there.
You knew I was coming.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes indeed.
And I see here you've got a, what's this? Is
It's a
Whirlwind.
Eureka. Yeah, Eureka.
Eureka.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
not sure what that word means.
Uh-huh. There's a city called Eureka too, isn't there?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Where's that, in Ohio or something?
No, Eureka's in
Where?
Nevada.
Nevada? All right. Now, when they invented the first vacuum cleaners over 100 years ago, okay, they were all made with 4 basic parts. They had an intake, a motor, a bag, an exhaust. Or an intake, a motor, a canister, a capturing device, and an exhaust. It's now 110 years later, what have we still got?
Same thing.
The same thing. You know, 100 years ago, we couldn't fly an airplane. Now we put people on the moon. 100 years ago, we couldn't make a phone call. Now we use cell phones, smartphones, and all sorts. 100 years ago, you used to cook on an open fire. Now we use microwave. You see, every other industry is taken off, but vacuum cleaners, sadly, have stayed exactly the same. Now, inside here somewhere, we've got a place to catch the dirt. Am I right? Is it in here, Bill?
Yes, that's
Okay.
what we're into, right?
All right. Now, I haven't seen one of these before. This one's pretty different, but they're all basically the same. And I notice here we've got a filter. Reminds me of the old filters that you have on my lawnmower, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now, this is a filter. Now, this happens to be made of paper. Jeremy, why do you think they made of paper?
So breathe.
So that it can breathe, but you're an intelligent rainbow person now, you see. But normally people say, well, so you can throw it away.